I think we can all agree that this question is something everyone has felt the urge to look up at one point or another. Unfortunately, the answer to this question cannot be found in less than 1 second, despite what Google says. I decided to meet with a UNC sophomore who continuously pushes towards her aspirations of music production to find out how she strives to turn her dreams into reality.
Hi, my name is Ali LaBarbara. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm a business major and a music minor.
I asked Ali, how did you decide music production was something you wanted to pursue?
Ever since I was a young kid, I've always been into the arts, specifically the performing arts. I was really into musical theater. I was in chorus my entire life. I was on the dance team in high school. And it was just something that I was super passionate about, and I realized the one thing in common with all of those art forms was music. And I knew that I didn't want to perform necessarily in college, but I wanted my life to be revolved around that, and I wanted my studies to be revolved around that. And so I combined my academic endeavors and my love for the arts and figured out that I want to learn more about the music industry.
The music industry involves all sorts of unique jobs, from physically producing lyrics and musical compositions to boardroom decisions of a world tour. Wanting to find out more about the behind the scenes of the music world, I then asked Ali, what is something interesting that most people do not know about the music industry?
One thing that a lot of people don't realize about the music industry is just how male-dominated it is, especially on the production and management side. 98% of producers are all male. And that's something that actually made me want to pursue this business even more.
Next, I asked Ali, is there someone or something in the music industry that has really inspired you?
So if any of my friends were listening, they would laugh because this is the most obvious answer for me specifically, but I love Ariana Grande, I always have. She's definitely my #1 inspiration, especially with the music industry, not just because she's so talented and because I love all of her music, but she started out in the same boat as me in the performing arts, doing musical theater and on Broadway. And then she went more into acting and then found herself through music and started creating her own music. And she just knows a lot about the production side, the management side, just as much as performing. So she's definitely my #1 inspiration.
I then asked Ali, how does UNC help shape your goals?
So this is a really interesting question for me because initially going into college, I really wanted to study music business at UCLA. Just the cost of tuition, and with Corona, it made a lot more sense to go in state, and so I chose UNC, which obviously I was still ecstatic for. But I kind of had to make my own educational path because there is no music business program here. So I decided I wanted to apply to the Keenan Flagler Business School and then pursue a minor in music. And thus far, I've taken several music classes to fulfill the requirements for my minor, and I luckily got into the business school, which was really exciting. And I really think that UNC has enabled me to make my own path and kind of figure out what I want to do on my own. Specifically, some of the music classes that I'm involved in currently have really just opened my eyes up to the different parts of the industry that I want to work towards. I'm in a Music 120 class, it's Foundations of Music, and we've been able to use different types of software that I've gotten more comfortable with and that have made me realize that maybe producing music is actually the aspect of the business that I want to work in. And I'm really excited to start taking classes in the business school so I can see, again, what aspects of the music industry apply to those classes and what intrigues me the most.
Speaking to such a motivated and well-informed individual prompted me to ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So this is kind of a tough question because honestly, where I see myself in 5 years is anything involving music. I would love to be living in a city that's filled with music, hopefully Los Angeles, maybe Nashville, working in a recording studio, a record label, hopefully one day making my own record label. But I'm ready to work from the ground up. I just want to be around music.
My final question to Ali was if she could talk to her younger self today, what would she say?
I think one thing I would tell my younger self is that everything's controlled by your mind. If you want to make something happen, you very much can. The only thing that's holding you back is your mentality.